Hello, my friends. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me today on this live. It's the morning here in Florida. It's sunny, it's a beautiful day. I'd like, first of all, to present myself. My name is Safa Maju. I am a professional trainer, a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner, and an advanced mind mapping practitioner. And today's live is going to be about the art of saying no. So let me tell you a little bit about the story, why I thought about giving this live. A couple of friends lately asked me about a talk I gave a couple of years ago, and it was about the art of saying no. It's not only about saying the word no, it's about how to set boundaries, healthy boundaries, and how to stick to your priorities and to how to self-care, how to care about yourself. So I thought, well, you know what? Maybe I should do something like more than sharing that video. And that's why I decided, okay, I'm gonna just do like a new talk and a live, a short one. It's gonna be like 20, 30 minutes talk, and it's going to be about the art of saying no. So basically, my goal today is to give you a simple, practical trick that you can use the minute you stop watching this video. And you're going to see it's very, very simple. You can just keep practicing, like practicing day after day till you get really good at that. So the first thing I'm going to say is saying no, or the art of saying no, has two sides. We can look at it from two sides. There is your relationship with yourself, that sometimes you have to say no to temptation, to procrastination, to bad habits, to negative self-talk. So that's the first thing. You have to reprogram or rewire your thoughts. But we're not going to talk about this today. There is the other side, which is how to stand up for yourself and how to say no, how to disagree sometimes when you're really disagreeing, and how to express that disagreement. And that's actually between you and the people around you. So that's the second side, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So if you're here, just like say hello, and I'm gonna just keep talking till I see like any questions or comments. So like I said, today we're gonna be talking about saying no to others when we really need to say no. And that's actually what we call a healthy no, because we're not going to be rude, we're not going to be offend or hurt people. And generally there are like different reasons why sometimes we can't have that courage, we can't be enough brave to go ahead and express that opinion or disagreement. And that could be because we are afraid to hurt others. Because if I disagree with you and I don't like what you're saying, or I don't want to do what you're asking me, then I'm going to offend you. And eventually you're going to hate me. And you're going to say that I'm selfish, or I'm not a nice person, and you won't talk to me anymore. So that's actually seeking for validation and appreciation from others. And that's related to some kind of low self-esteem, that you think that people will only love you and appreciate you if you accept whatever they ask you, if you always agree with whatever they tell you. which is not true. Because you will see afterwards, I will explain more, that actually people will sometimes will appreciate you even more and trust you even more when they see that you have like a good self-worth and a good self-esteem, that you can stand up for yourself and you can say what's in your mind, because that way they can rely on you in the future. They will know that you will stand by their side and you will help them. And it also has a lot to do with also like self-respect, because if you seek for respect from others, they're not going to respect you if they see that you feel deep inside that you're worthless and that you're just always seeking for love and appreciation, that it's not coming from like, because we can be kind and being like assertive and being brave and courageous and say what's in our mind. So there's actually a quote from Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, and he says, "A no uttered from deepest conviction is better and greater than yes, merely uttered to please, or what is worse, to avoid trouble." And that's another reason why we don't like to say what it's turning in our mind, what is going on in our mind, because we don't want to get into trouble. If, for example, your boss asks you, for example, last minute something, to take care of something, just because he has other stuff to do and you have to stay at the office really late, well, I mean, you don't have to do it, because you think that if I'm gonna say I'm sorry, I have another engagement and I need to go, like I have my family, they're gonna just, I don't know, they're gonna not promote you, or they won't like you, or they won't appreciate you. Actually, there is a healthy way to say no and to disagree with people. And that's what is actually our main subject today. So a couple of years ago, I came up with this idea. I got it. And it's a very simple technique. And it's called the 3 Bs. 3 Bs, like the bees, the insects. Bees give us honey. They're really nice. But when you mess with them, they sting you. And that's what you should be. You can be a very kind person, a very nice person, but when you feel that people are disrespecting you and they are like getting into your territory, that's when you have to say no. So the 3 Bs technique is be back boundaries. Let's start with the be back. The be back is actually a way for you to give yourself some time to think about an answer when you don't have an immediate answer. So let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, you get a phone call or you get an email or even like a request, like someone just get into your office or comes to you and asks you, hey, I need you to do this or that. For the phone call, you don't have to answer your phone all the time. This is one thing I learned years ago. And if I'm really busy and I can't answer my phone, I don't answer the phone. And you know that nowadays you can just have your phone and answer like with that text message, I can't talk right now, I'll be right back. Like I'll call you back. The other thing, if you really don't want to talk to that person, you don't have to talk to her. Like you can just give yourself some time, to relax and think about how you're going to be talking to that person. Of course, in cases, if it's like an urgent call, like there are certain people that sometimes you don't want to talk to. And it's all right. It's completely fine that you're not in your like normal, happy, smiling mood all the time, because we are human beings. Sometimes we need just to relax. We want to stay like by ourselves, not talk to anybody, and we just want to clear our minds. So for the phone, you don't have to answer the phone all the time. For the email, if you get an email, someone is asking you something, do not ignore the email, because you know that professionally, they always say that if you get an email from like a coworker or like your boss or whoever, like for like a professional relationship, you should answer within 24 to 48 hours. Well, why don't you do this? Instead of stressing yourself out, because it could be like the subject or the email is that you have to do something like, and you really need to brainstorm to answer that email. So you can just answer really simple one sentence: I received your email, I look at that, and I will be back to you. I don't know, it could be like in a day or two or a week. It depends on what is the request. And believe me, this comes with practice. It doesn't come like immediately like that. But these very simple things, you can just do them. It's very simple. You can just start with your phone. You don't have to answer the phone all the time. That's a be back. You don't have to do it. Give yourself some time to gather yourself, gather your ideas, so you can be ready to answer an email or a phone or request or whatever. And there is the other thing that it happens to me all the time when I call, for example, the doctor and they're busy. They just tell me, okay, can you hold? Like, hello, this is the office of Dr. Y or Z, and can you hold a moment? And that's fine. I can hold. I mean, there is no problem with that. I can hold. I can hold for a couple of minutes. Even sometimes you go to a store and the person is busy with another customer, they will tell you, just a moment, I'll be back to you. They're not ignoring you, actually. They respect you because they looked at you and they told you that you are here, we respect you, but just let me give like the time to deal with the other person, because the other person is important, and then I will give you like my ears and my eyes and my brain so I can focus on whatever you're going to tell me. So this is a very simple technique. It's the be back. And once again, it's actually also a technique that will allow you, not only you to give you some time to gather your thoughts, but also it will give the other person a way to think about another alternative, to think about a way if maybe they will ask someone else, or they can find their own solution. Because, you know, sometimes we can be very impulsive. And if we encounter like a very simple challenge or a problem, we just get the phone and I'm going to call my friend, or I'm going to call my mom, or I'm going to call whoever. So we have, like, some people have this attitude of being really impulsive. No, we're going to give them some time to calm down, even on their side. We calm down and they calm down. So it's like a win-win situation. Now let's talk about the boundaries. So it's like the be back and then the boundaries. The boundaries here, we talk about healthy boundaries. And it also let people know that you have a life, you have needs, and you're not always available. And also that there are certain things that the person in front of you, on the phone or email or like face to face, needs to consider, like certain, let's say, rules. There are, for example, certain subjects that I don't want to talk about. There are certain things that I don't know, I don't want to deal with. And this is actually the healthy boundary, that sometimes we have, for example, a friend or a relative or whoever, or even a coworker who is always calling us, always asking us, always like behind our back. And with time, it can be annoying. But let me tell you something. They reach that level of not letting you breathe because you gave them that permission. You let them think that you are always available and you will always say yes, and basically you have no boundaries and you have no life. That's what you let people think whenever you say yes to anything. And the other situation is, for example, you are in a discussion and people, they start talking about something that you don't like, which is against, for example, your values, or I don't know, they start, for example, talking about a friend that you really like or a relative, and they're talking in a bad way about this person. Well, you don't have to just shut up and keep listening. You can just say, either you leave or say, like, could you please not talk this way about this person, because I know that person and she's not that bad. Maybe you had like a bad situation with her, a bad experience with that person, but maybe there was like a misunderstanding. Here I'm just giving like some examples. But you know, like there are like different situations. And with time, when you practice these things, you will start having this immediate response. It's like a reflex. So boundaries, it's really important. And believe me, when you look at successful people, any talks, for example, people that influencers that you always like watch their videos on Instagram and Facebook and all, they will always tell you and they let you know that there are boundaries actually. And I had sometimes some mistakes. I made some mistakes sometimes, like we all make mistakes. It's like an ongoing work. It doesn't come like this. You need to keep working on yourself, and that's basically the target here. The goal is to keep working on yourself, and you're gonna get better each time. So that's the thing. And then there is what I came with, which is like 3 questions. How to set your boundaries. There's 3 questions to help you set your boundaries. The first one is your ethics, your principles, your values. If, for example, someone comes to you and talks to you in a way or asks you something, think about it. Is what the person in front of me is saying or talking about or asking, is it ethical in my eyes? Is it like against my values or not? And that's really important, because if it's against your values, you're going to feel embarrassed, really uncomfortable. And afterwards, if you don't say anything, you're going to feel even shame and guilty. You're going to be angry and upset with yourself. So don't let yourself get to that point of being angry towards yourself. If it's unethical, if it's against your values, it's an immediate no. Someone asks you to lie for them, to witness, like, and to lie for them, or I don't know, like to steal for them. Like I'm just giving like really like extreme examples here, but you get the idea. If it's against your values, no way. And by the way, I will tell you afterwards how to say the no, because you don't have to feel sorry about this. So it's, you ask about your ethics. It's in here. It's a self-talk. Is it ethical? Is it against, or in it, like in is it in my values? Is it one of my values? The second question to ask yourself is this request or this situation, is it gonna jeopardize my self-care and my health? Like I said earlier, a boss comes to you, or a coworker, or whoever, a friend, whoever, comes to you last minute and tells you, I need you to do this. You're gonna stay working on this like really late at night. The next day, you're gonna have a headache. You're gonna feel overwhelmed. You're going to be stressed, and you know that sleep is really important for our mental health, for our brain. So you should never, ever underestimate sleeping. Sleeping, in a way, allows your brain to recharge and to function well. And I think we all at a certain time in our like in our life, we stay like, I don't know, like a night or 2 nights without sleeping, and then afterwards you just feel you collapse. You can do it. So think about it. Think about your self-care and your health. Is it gonna stress you out? Is it gonna, I don't know, is it something that is gonna really hurt you? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Is it, for example, if someone asks you to deal with a problem, and that problem really messes up a lot with your mental health. It in a way, it you feel depressed once you think about this certain, that specific subject. So think about it. Your self-care and your health and your mental health. That's really, really, really important. The third question to ask yourself is your priorities and your plans. What are your priorities? Is that request or that thing gonna jeopardize your priorities or gonna mess up your plans? Ask yourself. I always think, and I always believe that our goals don't change. It's our priorities that change. Like your priorities can change from a week to another. And one of the priorities, you always need to have 3 priorities, no more than 3. 3 priorities is the best thing. 3 priorities. One of them is your mental health. Like that second question, ask yourself, my self-care and my mental health. That's really important. That's one of your priorities, your mental health. The second, one of the other priorities, for example, it could be, I don't know, it depends on you. Like one week, for example, I give you an example. For me, for example, this week, it's going to be spring break. My kids are at home. You might have like heard them. Well, this week, it's going to be for my kids. And I won't be working as much as like last week. So that's one priority. The week after, when they'll be back to school, they're going to be among my priorities, but maybe they will just come third. They're my priorities. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to take care of my kids, but you get the idea. For example, for one week, you think you have, for example, a very important project, you have a deadline, and you need to work on that. That's a priority. That's your priority for that week. You need to focus on that. So once again, if someone comes during that week when your priority is to work on that project, then, well, think about the be back that, like if it's an email, if it's a phone call, whatever, I'll be back to you just like this week. I'm really, like I have an important project I have to deal with, but I'll get back to you as soon as I'll be done. And it's a promise, actually. It's a promise. You're not here, you're not just throwing words. You're not just letting people like telling them, hey, I'll be back, and then you're never back or you never answer them. No, never ever do that. You have to let people trust you. So when you say I'll be back to you, you will be back to them. So back to the priorities once again. Like I said, ask yourself if that request, is that last minute thing is gonna mess up with my plans. Maybe I planned tonight to stay with my kids or my partner, or to go visit, for example, my family. I give you an example. Lately, actually, I asked a friend, I wanted actually to do something like a project. And during, there is like the month of Ramadan is coming. It's like in April. And the friend, she said it, and I understood actually. She told me, for example, Ramadan is for my family. And I understood that. And she said it in a very polite way. Well, I understand that because she's my friend and I won't get upset or angry. If I get angry, I'm not really her friend. Because you really have to think about this once again. If the person in front of you gets upset when you show any disagreement or you can do something for them, if they get upset, then they're not their friends. And you don't have like to look for their appreciation or their validation because they don't care about you. So think about it. Think about this and have that reflection that and tell yourself, yes, I am worth to be loved and I am worth to be appreciated. I am worth all these things. And I don't have to be a servant. I don't have to be serving people to deserve their love or their appreciation. They will love you for yourself. And once again, there is a very simple way to say it. Here we're gonna, if I tell you, you say no or you disagree in a very polite and confident way, and you tell me, but how? Okay, that needs like a really long training. You need to say it like in a confident way. So you can just practice that, like in front of the mirror or with really close friends. If, for example, there is like this specific coworker or there is like this specific person who's always bothering you, asking you stuff and wasting your time, when practice with a member of family and tell them, ask them, how should I react? How can I let them understand that I don't want to deal with them anymore in a very polite way? And never be sorry because you're not committing any crime. And be honest. Be honest. The person in front of you, tell her, I cannot do this right now. Maybe you can do like help them like next week or after like a couple of days or next week. And tell them why. Because I have like another engagement. I have to deal with other things. If they ask you, for example, for money, well, right now I'm really tight in budget and I cannot do it because I have other expenses and other people rely on me, my family or whoever rely on me. So I can't do it right now. I can't. Be honest with them. Don't give like too much details like you're gonna like tell your life story. It's not about that. But it's just be honest. Tell them that, hey, I can do it right now, and here's the reason. And once again, like show that you have self-respect. So what I ask you to do, it's an exercise, very simple thing to do. The be back boundaries. The first thing is you don't have to answer the phone all the time. You don't need this. And from time to time, just, turn off your phone. Just leave it. Do something else. Think about something else. Think about contact, relationship with people. Don't have the phone always with you. The other thing with emails, that's the phone. It's an immediate action. Your emails, same. Text messages, same. I got your message. I'll answer you. I got your email. I'll be back to you like in, I don't know, like give yourself a healthy also timeline, a healthy deadline. I was once in a meeting and someone asked me something and they said, well, let's talk about this or let's talk about this next week. And I said, no, 2 weeks. because I know my priorities. I know that I won't be able, I already have too much to do, other stuff, my work, my family, my priorities, my self-care, and I can't look at that right now. So 2 weeks. Give yourself a healthy deadline. That's very important. The other thing that you can just practice, like do right now, is also whenever someone asks you something, think about your ethics, your self-care, and your plans, your priorities. So very important. The Be Back gives you time to ask yourself these 3 questions. And it gives you also the time to set your boundaries, to say, hey, I can do this. I'll do it next time. So yeah, I hope this, like these 30 minutes, we're already like 30 minutes. So I hope this really helps you. Just feel free to ask questions, to refer this, to share this with friends if they really need that. Give me more ideas, more comments. I'll be really happy to maybe do like a part 2 and focus maybe next time on the self-talk, like the no to ourselves, the procrastination, the temptations, and then the negative thoughts. We can maybe do this next time. So yeah, thank you so much for being here with me. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.